Hello everyone, it's Keith from Anth Publishing, and today I'm going to review a piece of software called Split Test Monkey. It is an application, well, it's about split testing, right? So it's got a unique little twist to it, though. There's what they call dynamics testing. So what you can do is actually split test a specific element on one page, okay? So traditionally split testing is usually two separate URLs measured against each other, right, to see which one gets higher conversions. In this app, you can do that as well as what they're calling this dynamic split test, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just show you how easy it is to use. It's really, really simple, just a couple of settings. Before we jump into that, of course, I always talk about what the funnel is, what the price is. Now, this is a brand new piece of software, so it's during launch week. You are going to be able to get this front-end product for $37. There's an upsell for $27 one-time cost. And what you're going to get with that 27 is basically this headline-o-matic. So everything I'm going to show you is pretty much included in the front end except for this. This is extra, and what this is a little app that gives you headlines, right? So if I wanted to put in a keyword phrase, and we'll just put split test in there. And you can kind of choose the style of headline you want it to create, okay? So you can do awesome headlines or attention grabbers. We'll do attention grabbers. And we make headlines. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is, so what it'll do is basically give you just a bunch of ideas about headlines for email swipes or blog posts or whatever it may be. So you can also hit the give me more here, and it'll switch them around and give you some other ones. So kind of a cool little add-on, if you're doing a lot of email marketing, a lot of blogging. All right. So let's go ahead, though, and jump into the actual split testing here. Okay, so what we have here now, as you saw, there's a split URL test and an A/B dynamic test, okay? So we're going to start out here with just the split, the normal, kind of the traditional way to split test, all right? So we're going to give it a quick name here. I'm just going to call it demo. We'll call it traditional. Okay, now there's a couple of different test types here that you can choose from. There's an auto optimizer, a manual, and a conversion race, okay? So basically what this is the auto optimizer will work off of what your parameters are set here, okay? So it's minimum total conversions to pick kind of the winner. So you can say 100 minimum conversions over how many days, okay, are required before a winner is chosen. So, and the winner would be whichever page basically fits your criteria here, okay? So now you have confidence as well. So the confidence level, like it says here, is the conversion rate measured for the winning variant is accurate, okay? So typically you should aim for value or above 95%, all right? So really what that's saying is that it's 95% confident that whichever page wins, okay? For more information about that exactly, we can click here and they'll tell you a little bit more about the algorithm that they use for that. Now, what you're going to have here is the URL to redirect the tests to, okay? Okay, and what that means is it's basically if there's no tests running, this is where it's going to default to, okay? So I'm just going to, like, for instance, here, I just put in my blog here, publishing.com, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say... now also your conversion value here, you can actually give it a value. So it could be like $10 if that's what each conversion is worth to you, just for a little bit more internal tracking. So what we'll do is then you're going to take the two pages that you want to actually split test against, okay? So I'm just, for an example here, I'm just going to put in, page 1. And the other one would be page 2. Okay, so this is basic. This is the traditional way to do split testings. Okay, so obviously these two pages would have, maybe different headlines, different color scheme, different layout, whatever that may be. Now you can actually add, I think, up to 6. Oh, okay, looks like 4 on this one here. So you could do up to 4 different pages in this one particular test. Okay, so you can actually mark these as active or not active as well. And then they have a little check button here that will just basically pop open the URL, make sure that you've entered this in correct. Okay, so once we have that complete, what I'm going to do is let's see here. I wonder if this is gonna, let's put this as no because we don't want anything in there. All right, and we're just going to save and publish. Okay, so now what you're going to get is this is the link that you're going to use to send your traffic to. Okay, so if you're doing a landing page, sales page, funnel pages, whatever it is, this is the URL that you want to use to send traffic to, so that the split test will work. Okay. Now, with the conversion snippet, this is what's going to go on your thank you page, or if it's a sales funnel, it would be your next offer or a thank you page, whatever you have in that funnel, so that it can track the actual conversion, right? So when they hit this front page, you're going to know if they buy or they take action, whatever that action is to get them to that next page, you know it's a conversion, right? So you go ahead and enter this script there as well. Now, this down here is for a different product that they have called Commission Gorilla, so I'm not going to get into that at all. Now, okay, so what we have is we're just going to simply insert this into the thank you page. We're going to insert this into, or we're going to send all our traffic to this URL right here, and we're going to go. Okay, so what it's going to do then is once we start running this, you're going to go ahead and just get a few statistics. Okay, now you're going to see here, it's going to kind of run through what your settings were. And it's going to give you the hits, uniques, conversions, conversion rate, and conversion values. So now you can start to see which one is going to be the winner. Okay. Now you can also download as a PDF. Now what I mean by winner is based on those parameters that we had set. So we have a minimum days, 100 conversions. Once it hits that level, then whatever page it was that won is the one that's going to show from that point on. Okay. So whenever they hit that link, the link you're sending traffic to, it's always going to show the winner after this 14-day set. Okay. And that's basically it. I mean, that's how you use the traditional way of split testing. Okay. So let's go ahead and just really jump over here to the A/B dynamic testing. This is kind of a cool little feature. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to call this demo dynamic. Okay. Now, again, you have the choice of auto, manual, which will give you, different fields, and obviously conversion race. Okay, so this is basically hitting it at, is the amount of conversion. So you're basically setting a conversion percentage that you want it to hit to be determined the winner. Okay, I'm going to just keep it on the auto optimizer here. Now you can also change this with a winner or force a winner to be chosen, whichever element you want to. If you just want to keep the campaign going, but you're done really with the split testing and you just say, you know what, number 3 is good enough. I'm going to pick number 3. So then when they hit that, it's always going to show element number 3, okay? Now, our override element, what we're going to have here is, you have a little snippet of code I'm going to put here, and this is just a banner ad that I have, okay, that I have on one of my pages. And let me extend that a little bit. And I'll show that to you here. It's actually this one right here, okay? So if I wanted to test this against a different banner ad, then I'm going to go ahead and put my first element in. Okay, so this is the override element. Now it knows which element we're trying to target on the page. So we're going to use the exact same one here because that's the first element I want to use, is the one that's already there. And then we're going to put the second one in there. And you could add up to, I believe it's up to 4 or 6, but you can have 2 different elements per page. Okay, you can only go up to 2, but you can have 6 variations of each of those elements. Okay, so on here, the only thing I'd really change is the name of the banner, right? So maybe it was called Banner 5. Okay, so now I have Banner 5. Now if I wanted to add more, I could do so. Paste that in, and we would go Banner 6, and this one here. We're going to go banner 7. Okay, so now I'm split testing against 4 different banners to see which one is going to give me the best conversions, based on my parameters. Okay, now what we do is we're going to save and publish. Now what you're going to get here is an element snippet. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're basically going to take this little piece of code, and whatever platform you're using, WordPress, or if it's a homegrown platform, whatever it is, you're just basically going to take this piece of code and you're going to replace whatever piece of code you have in here in your WordPress instance. All right, you just paste that in. What's going to show up is this exact banner, but every time I refresh that page and hit that page, it is going to change, right, until it figures out which is the actual winner. And it's going to know, again, by this conversion snippet. We just simply take this, paste it on whatever the thank you page is, or whatever the page you've deemed to be the conversion, and you go ahead and paste that in there. So now when we run this test, we're going to know exactly what's going on here with the statistics, right? Because we're going to watch it. It's going to pick a winner after a certain amount of days, which I have here, and then it will continue to broadcast that banner until you either stop it or just let it go, just keep it in there forever. Okay, so what I've decided to do is put it to the test. Right now, my partner and I are currently launching a product, so we went ahead and did just a small little split test on some text that we placed next to the video here. Okay, so we had kind of two different versions of that. Now I let that run just overnight, just to kind of see what the results were, to make sure that the software is actually working, and it is. So as you can see here, this is our results. So we had some criteria here, so the split test is still running, and what we've had is this amount of visitors and uniques, and the amount of conversions. And what we have here is the confidence now is 52% that URL number 2, so our second version of that text, is converting a little bit better. Very close. Now, it's only 1 day, so you might want to give it, these things a few days to kind of see, especially if you're that close, with one URL versus another. So as you can see, it's definitely working. We're going to let this run for a few more days and see how this confidence rating here changes, and just kind of keep it testing. So that basically concludes Split Test Monkey. As you can see, very simple to use. I will drop a link to learn more information to the sales page down in the description. So go ahead and pick up your copy today.